We are back for the last and final part of the Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra, here on GJRB Online. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Hope you're enjoying the program wherever you're listening to as we get to the last 27 minutes of the program here on GJRB Online on a Saturday, the final 27 minutes or so of the program, a little less than a half hour. And we're going to use this time now to do our birthday greetings. Want to say a big happy birthday goes out to Mary Ann Ross, good friend of ours from Pittsburgh area, from Pennsylvania. Grew up with her, went to high school together, and grade school too. Anyway, happy birthday to her from GJRB Online. Big happy birthday. And, of course, if you have a birthday and you're not on Spreaker, you're not on Facebook, but you are listening to this program and found us, you know how to get in here. It's Gary.Russen on Skype if you are so inclined. If you are a listener of the program and want to get on the air with us, you can get on there. Gary.Russen on Skype. Facebook, by hitting that call button. If you're a follower and friend on Facebook, just hit that call button, and it'll ring in the studios. And you can, and if you are a friend of GJRB Online, if you are want to listen to our program, and you're listening from, let's say, Pinterest, you can contact us here at GJRB Online by getting in that Gary.Russen on Skype, or my Facebook if you get a friend request, and just let me know that you listen to GJRB Online on Spreaker, and we'll accept you as a friend on there, and you can call our show from that point. There are two ways. I mean, Skype really sounds good. As a matter of fact, I use that quite a bit for a lot of call-in segments on this show. Skype really is fabulous, so you can use that. And or you just want to get into the chat room here on Spreaker, you know how to do that. And you can get in on the program. Absolutely love to get a lot of action. We had some action in the past 2 hours from two guys from Texas. From a great state of Texas, Black Dragon Radio Network, and also our big fat soft underbelly, John from Houston. And all joined us in the past couple hours of the show. Seemed to have disappeared. I think they had to, John had to go outside, I think. He had some other stuff to do. And, of course, the excruciating heat outside in that area has got to be really bad, especially in that area. No doubt about it. I couldn't, I don't blame you anymore to come back in and get cooled down a little bit, because I know that's hot down there in Texas right now, as I just given you the weather. And we'll take a look at our Clinton area weather forecast coming up in the next few minutes before we close out the show today. As I said before, nobody else following me here on our 9-foot signal, so we're just going to maybe stay on a little longer and wrap up this program. Some of the things I got to do, I might expand out just a little bit so we can stay on a little longer. So we might just take a break here and throw in something in there, just kind of fill some time, and do a local break. So we'll be doing that before we close out here. But I'm looking for something here now. What am I looking for? Birthdays, right? Where is that stupid thing? I know I had that saved. I know I got a segment called Birthdays, because I want to tell Mary Ann Ross who she's celebrating her birthday with. Some of the celebrities that are having birthdays today. Here they are, celebrity birthdays. And let's take a look at those for today. So it'll pop up here and see who they are. Let's see. Well, where is that now? Okay, that's down here somewhere. I know I saved it. Might be up here. Okay. Let's see. Here we go. Celebrity birthdays. Some of the birthdays you're celebrating your birthday with. So let's do that again. Big happy birthday once again to Mary Ann Ross on our Facebook page. Celebrating a birthday today. And here are some of the big stars that you're celebrating your birthday with. Happy birthday today to, heavenly birthday to Ralph Waite star of the Waltons, John Walton, who just died here not too long ago, born in 1954. Also, Freddie Prinze of Chico and the Man. His birthday today. Chico and the Man. I used to like that show. Wonder why they don't rerun that. Well, I thought they'd rerun that show. There are some shows they could rerun and they don't. Tracy Paula, famous for Family Ties. I can't remember who she played on that series. Let me see if I can recognize her from the show. I think not really sure. I think she might have played, let me see if I can find her. Let me see. She could be the one that played Alex's girlfriend there for a while in the series. Might have been. Also, a big happy birthday to Judy Garland. Famous for the Judy Garland Show, and of course her famous role in, of course, The Wizard of Oz. She's celebrating a birthday today. And of course Dennis Day of the Jack Benny Show. So those are some of the big birthdays celebrated today. So again, happy birthday to Marianne Rosen. Those are some of the people you're celebrating your birthday with today. You're listening to the Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra on GJRB Online. We're kind of scrolling through the pages of the social sites. So I'm going to go out of this now, and we'll do our last weather report for Clinton, Iowa coming up next. But meanwhile, I think it's time to do our Spreaker shout-outs. I'm sorry that a lot of the guys didn't stick around for the shout-out. Got that coming up right now. So I'm going to go into the, I want to go in and get that up, our jazz piece for that. Let's pull that up and do our birthday shout-outs right now. Let's do that. Sounds good to me. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. Birthday shout-out time. Let's do our Spreaker shout-out time. I think we ought to do that. Let's do that. All right. That's not what I wanted, but we are doing that right now. We're going to scroll through social media. We're going to do Twitter in a little bit, but right now it's time for the Spreaker shout-outs. You know, there's a lot of podcasts out there, really. And this Spreaker shout-out is brought to you by Spreaker. And you too can be on this platform. Have your show all over the place and distributed among the great platforms like Google Podcast, Spotify, and get your show, if you so inclined to have the money to pay for it, you can get your show spread out along Facebook. But also, you can get it on, we didn't really get on Convo. I'm going to work on that. I need to practice distributing my show while I'm on the air. I'm working on that, and I think the more and more I do shows, the more and more practice I get, the more and more I can get better at getting the show distributed. But it's time now for that. You know, there's a lot of Spreaker shows. There's a lot of podcasts on this thing. Spreaker's a big community. I mean, we have some great podcasters on there, and you might like them, you might not. You know, there's some podcasts that sometimes I think they're kind of like unnecessary language that sometimes I like to listen to them and they're funny, but, you know, as a Christian, sometimes I don't always agree with them. And sometimes I like to listen to them, sometimes I don't. But there are some podcasts that I do like to listen to, whether it be some political commentators, some great people that I like to listen to on here, and that includes some of the really ones that are funny. Some are vulgar, some are just, you know, they got some explicit on them, but they're funny. And then some of them are like Snarky of Oz from Oregon, from Cockwell. She has a late night program. She has a lot of different programs on her thing. You can check her out. Don't know what time she's on, but she has some interesting things to say on her program. And along with that, you got to listen to this every Tuesday afternoon or Thursday, wherever it may be. He hasn't been feeling too good lately. I wonder how he's been doing. He wasn't feeling good the last time I listened to him. And that is, of course, great state of Illinois. He has a great show. Gotta check it out. That is Bob Huber, the Huber Experience. Check him out. He's on Tuesday afternoons or Thursdays, live, 45-minute increments of 15 minutes, but he pours a lot into it. If you're not getting into gaming, movies, serials, whatever the case may be, you'll find this guy's his knowledge of them. So you want to check it out. That is Bob Huber, the Huber Experience. Check it out. And then on the other side, you want to hear some music, 80s style. You got to listen to the Black Dragon Radio Network. This guy jams with some great 80s hits. He's going to be back on the air. He's taking a holiday, a little time off, but he will be back in the fall. He's going to have some more great 80s stuff. He's got some more program plans. So you're going to have to check this guy out. He's absolutely fabulous. The Black Dragon Radio Network. Tune into that. And he's really on just about every day. And he plays some great rock. So tune into that. He's great. And then we got Tuesday nights, 8 o'clock Central Daylight Time, 6 o'clock Pacific. You'll want to listen to Ed Delgado, the Caramel Conservative. Yep, he does. He tells it like it is, man. He's got some things to say when it comes to the what's going on in the government. Just listen to this guy. Tune in live at 8 o'clock p.m. right here on Spreaker, and even on our Spreaker 9-foot tower, Spreaker FM 88.9, 8 o'clock p.m. Tuesday nights, live, 8 o'clock Central Time, for great commentary at its best. And that is Ed Delgado, the Caramel Conservative. And then right about that time on Tuesday night, you'll hear from Houston, Texas. The hot Houston, Texas. Temperatures in the 90s. It's sweltering down there, but John's rolling. John, our big fat soft underbelly, OBFSU. You got to check him out. He's packing in the commentary. He tells it like it is. He doesn't mince words. That's probably why I don't, why I lose audience sometimes, because I do promote him a lot. It's left-wing liberals. Anyway, you'll have to listen to him. And you'll know why he offends the liberals. This guy really tells it. He ain't afraid to say it. OBFSU, our big fat soft underbelly. Tune into him. 8 o'clock around Wednesday nights, right here on Spreaker. Other great programs you want to check out include Mike Myers. Every morning, you want to wake up in the morning with some inspiration, and you'll listen to Radio Hope Network. Mike Myers and the Radio Hope Network. He has a live 24/7 radio station on TuneIn. Check it out. Show is also heard on the Good Talk Radio Network. He has a lot of places where shows being repeated, and his show is also repeated on his own network, the TuneIn, and he does a good show. I like to listen to him. He really tells it like it is. He talks about God, talks about the importance of life, and mixes his music up real well with Christian and secular. It's great. And plays groups like the Apologetics. They're absolutely fabulous. I love that group. I got into it from listening to them, and ever since then, when I first heard Born Again, that just got me into it. When I heard that Who version, and absolutely fabulous. I was playing the Apologetics coming up. I had to do that. They're fabulous. Anyway, he's absolutely incredible. Tune into him. He's on every morning, 7 mornings a week, 8 o'clock in the morning Central Daylight Time, 6 a.m. Pacific, Mike Myers Show. And he has a Radio Hope Network. And don't forget to get in there. TuneIn's free. Just go in and type in Muck Radio, and you'll hear his show, his station, 24/7 station right there on TuneIn. It's absolutely incredible. Check it out. And those are some of the great people you can find on Spreaker. Like I said, there's so many to mention in such short a time. So if you want to find all these great people like Byron and all them guys, check it out. All you got to do is go into www.spreaker.com /user /015025, or just get into my Spreaker public site. It'll take you right in there. Or you can get on my Twitter. I'm the Radio Maniac, and just you're listening to this live on there. Just go and click in this show's title. Will take you right into my Spreaker public site there, and just go into followers, and you'll see the whole long list of the followers I have and some of the great programs they have on. Some of the ones I didn't mention, like Spaced Out Radio with Dave Scott. Eric Cooper talks about UFOs. Absolutely fabulous show. Sunday nights at 8 o'clock Central Daylight. He talks a lot about UFOs and aliens and stuff. So these are some of the great people you'll listen to. Strange, what is that? What's that other one I have on here? I know there's another one that I have on I like to listen to. I haven't listened to them in a while. And they're pretty good too. They have some, he has some really good stuff on his show. And I can't remember the name of it now for the life of me. Oh, anyway, let me go into my, I'm going to go into my Spreaker public site and find it. But those are some of the ones you can find. And like I said, if you want me to mention you and you just started a podcast, let me know if you're in Spreaker, and I'll mention you on this program. I'll give you a shout out right here. And if you're joining Spreaker, welcome. On Spreaker, it's a fabulous place to be. You want to start radio right here on Spreaker, this is the place to go. Spreaker, and there's some fabulous plans that you can get on that in which you can join. And some of them, the one I'm on right now is Air Talent, $6 a month. Not bad. $18 a month if you want to be a broadcaster. 3-hour plan, 500 hours of storage. That's the one I'm hoping I can get. And then the one up from that is the Anchorman, $45 a month, and you get 5 hours of broadcast time with 1,500 hours storage space. Wow. Podcast monetization, full stats, and you got advanced stats on some of these. I can monetize. So this is a great place to be. It's a fun place to go. It's fun to be here. Spreaker. And you can be on the radio like me. Spreaker, Spreaker. Spreaker spelled wrong back on purpose. Spreaker, and broadcast to the world. And of course, we'll have another shout out on the next edition of the Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra, or any other of my GJRB programs. And I'll be back on the air again on Tuesday. Plan on doing another Gary J in the morning. Haven't done one in a while. It's been weeks, so it's about due. I'm thinking we could get another Gary J in the morning program here on Tuesday morning, 10 a.m. Central Daylight, right here on Spreaker. So tune in for that. And other than that, in between that, spontaneous broadcast. You never know when we're going to be on the air. So watch for postings on the Spreaker public site for some shows. And shows coming up. And next week, I won't be on the air as much. I have some show prep to do. I'm working on some more programs coming up for July, including, of course, like I said before, new episodes of Way Out There, radio, television, and movie classics, the return of Up and Coming, my emerging artist show is back on the air. So if you are a band or and you have a song you recorded and you want to get it played on this show, let me know. If you are on any of the musical social sites such as SoundCloud, SoundClick, those two sites, and Reverb Nation, if you're any one of those three sites and you have new music, I'll play it on this show. Okay? That is called Up and Coming. And I'll have a new show set up in July. I'm working on some artists that'll get on the air for this show. Some new artists with some new music on there include Keith Brooks. And I got a couple of them from some new artists that were on the Debbie Scott radio program. We're going to be presenting those to the Debbie Scott. I'm hoping that she comes back. The Debbie Scott Radio Network. But we're going to cover a lot of her emerging artists because they were fabulous. And we're going to have a brand new show in July called Up and Coming. That's all brand new emerging artists. And it's absolutely fabulous. So check that out. And we're going to have that on the air. And it's going to be something you want to check out for sure. It's great. I don't know why I stopped doing that show. Really, I don't know why. I just kind of went in the hole because I had other shows coming on the air that I had to work on. And it just kind of like got covered up by a lot of dirt, so to speak. So I'm trying to bring that back on. And that'll be back on in July. Working on a new show, get some new emerging artists in there. And then these new emerging artists, you guys, once you get played on Up and Coming, you are already on the GJRB playlist right away. Those songs go into my add-ons list, and the more they get played, and the more I get exposed, especially since I am on Spotify. And I think Spotify is another platform for new emerging artists, I think, too. Pretty sure it is. So I'm going to have to go in there and find some new emerging artists. But Spotify and some of the other sites, all the other platforms. So all your songs are going to be heard on Spotify. So you guys that have new artists that are trying to get your song out there, you recorded a new song, you're a band, I'll play them. So get your song in there. Gary Russen, let's see, my email, that is GaryJ65@yahoo.com or GaryJ021361@gmail.com. Send me your MP3. If you are on, again, SoundCloud, SoundClick, Spotify, or Reverb Nation, I will tell me where you're at, and I will listen to your selections, and I'll pick the best one. You tell me what is your best song, and I'll get it on the radio. And when your song gets played on here, again, it ends up in my add-ons list and gets continuous play. And the more my shows are getting spread out now on the social sites, and now that I'm on 3 platforms, your song's going to be heard. So check that out. Up and Coming in July right here on GJRB Online. So tune in for that. It's going to be fantabulous. And also working on some other shows. So next week I got some appointments with my wife. She's got some doctor's appointments. So I won't be on the air as much, but I'm going to try to work on being on the air as much as I can. But as we get into July and shortly after the 4th, I will be on the air just about every day. Because like I said before, I have another studio at the Church of Christ in which I can work on production of shows. So that gave me a freed up time to do more shows here at this studio, which also is a production studio as well as an on-air studio. So it's going to get to where I'll be on more often, just about every day. And when I get to the 3-hour plan, there's going to be continuous programming as I'm sitting working on a schedule right now of programs that will be on every day here on GJRB Online. So this station's going to be on a lot, most definitely. And it's going to get mixed up, of course, with my 9-foot signals, which I have various programs on different stations. So we're going to be on the air every day, and it's going to be different programming. And what I'm going to do is, being that I had a lot of trouble scheduling before, and this last GJRB schedule update podcast is going to get deleted. If you want to listen to it, great. I mean, it just gets confusing. I have to play it back for myself to see what I can do to fix that. But the rotation's too complicated. I have a rotation, but I'm going to change it a little bit, and I'm going to kind of shuffle the programs around. What I'm going to do is each day that I'm on the air in July is going to be a different genre. Each genre is going to take turns on the air. We're going to have a cycle of genre and the programs underneath it. Kind of the way I do my music shows. Okay? I'm going to even make a different kind of wheel for that too. Although I don't think I can do a wheel on my format wheel on here. I'll probably do something equal to that And what I'll do is I'll draw it up, and then I'll make another GJRB schedule update podcast. And it'll also be a video, which I'll record and put up on the GJRB. And I'll do it this time. The last couple of times I said I was going to make a video, I didn't do it. For some apparent reason, don't ask me why, a video just never made it on. But a video will go up on our GJRB TV YouTube channel, which has been dead for a while. I have not had it up for some reason. Don't know why, but I will be reactivating the GJRB TV YouTube channel, and I'll have some programming on there. And some of the ones we'll have on there will be the schedule, and I will also have, like I said, I'll be on the air whenever I can, and it will be a cycle of genre. In other words, each day we'll have something different on. One day, day one, we'll have, let's say, or Christian rock. Under music. Day two, we'll have maybe talk radio. So it's going to be alternating between talk and music, in other words. Talk one day, music another day. Talk one day, music another day. And under each talk show will be the programs that are on there. The Gary Russen program, Way Out There, all those programs will be under that talk genre. And then we have the other programs and all the music shows under the music genre. So we're going to kind of rotate the shows around a little bit like that, be on every day. And I'm going to be probably cycling the programs a little bit, and then it will get rotated in automation. So it's going to be something different going on GJRB Online and the tail end of the year. But we're going to be, like I said before, no broadcast on Monday. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Usually, sometimes Sundays are up in the air. Might be on the air tomorrow with something Christian, and then we'll do our Christian rock. And then on Tuesday, Gary J in the morning. And then I don't know what we'll do Wednesday and Thursday yet, and or next Friday. So those are all open for spontaneous. But next Saturday, we'll be back here with another Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra. That will kind of stay in that time slot for Saturdays. And unless we, again, I might be trying some of those old schedules I made up, because I'm trying to see if I can get those to work. Where we'll be repeating some shows on Wednesday. Wednesday will be kind of like a repeat day, and run shows like Bluegrass Jubilee or Classic Country. I'm thinking about rerunning the Classic Country. I said I was going to do that. So a possibility I might be doing that, rerunning Classic Country. And I'm going to replay that. And some other shows. So watch for, like I said, spontaneous broadcasting. That's what I mean by that. You never know when GJRB Online is going to be on the air. It's just that simple. You just never know. So watch for postings on the GJRB Spreaker public site. As soon as I'm on the air, I post. And I'm practicing that every day. And like I said, it takes a little bit of practice to get this to post, because every once in a while this gets stuck, and I notice that I skip. My broadcast skips. And it usually happens whenever I fool with getting on the internet while I'm on the air. Sometimes it cuts my songs off. Or if I'm playing music, it'll cut it off. Or sometimes even when I'm talking and I go on the internet, it makes my voice skip like a bad CD. So, I don't know. It's just something there. I don't know exactly what it is, but it does it. Nothing I can do about it other than clean the computer before I go on the air. So I'm going to have to revise my prep rundown, the things I'm supposed to do before I go on the air, and that includes cleaning the computer, which I try to do the day before I go on the air, doing a virus check and all that. I usually try to do that before airtime, so to make sure that everything is cool before airtime. So I work on that consistently, but I have so much I do during a regular show that sometimes some shows sometimes I might not be able to post every time, but I'm going to try to make sure that I post immediately after I sign on for the show and meet the Spreakers, so that we can, and then from there on I post everywhere while I'm on the air. And I'm going to practice that by and working, because like I said before, what I do is I have what I call a title page on my documents, and all I do is just type out some stuff and then I copy paste, and I can do that while I'm talking, which is easier than typing. So I just type before airtime various things I want to say, and or I kind of post something while I'm on the air. So I try to work on that, and put tabs up for each part of the show, and put it up on my Pinterest page. So I'm going to do that after I get off the air. I'll put this show on Pinterest so that my listeners on Pinterest can catch my show, and so that's how that's going to go. Let's see here. I'm going to let's see what else I want to do before I close out. Let's see. Why don't I'm gonna go play. Let's see if I can play. I got one more. Let's see. It's coming up to 5 after 6, and we're gonna close out the show pretty soon anyway. So why don't we do Clinton weather? I ought to do that. Okay. So from Mater Farms, let's take a look at the weather here in Clinton, Iowa, as we do one more weather on the fives before we close out the show today. Okay, we'll do that. And I can't get, there's nothing much going on any of the other social sites like Twitter and all that, so we're just going to end that segment through social media for now. And we'll do another one coming up on the next edition of the Gary Russen program, and of course on the Saturday Extra, and on the Gary J in the Morning Show Tuesday. So tune in for that at 10 a.m. Central Daylight right here on Spreaker. From the Mater Farms, let's take a look at the weather for Clinton, Iowa. Right now, currently 78 degrees in Clinton. Winds north at 5 miles per hour, gusting to 8. Relative humidity, 73%. Our dew point is 69 degrees. And our barometric pressure is at 29.95 inches of mercury. Again, we have very high UV index and a very high pollen count, and very high pollen count. Yeah, no doubt about that. I have sneeze attacks in the morning. It's my regular routine. Sneeze after I get out of bed in the morning. It's crazy. 78 degrees right now is again our current temperature. Let's take a look at our forecast. We have a 90% chance of thunderstorms tonight. Low 68 degrees. We have southeast winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow, it's going to drop to 80% with a chance of thunderstorms again. High is 79 with south winds at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, an 80% chance again as thunderstorms creep in. 66 degrees. South winds at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Expanded forecast. Take a look at the next few days. Let's see what's going on here as far as the next few days in our weather forecast. And we didn't get a chance to even talk about any more about the situation with Iran, but, we got some more chances to talk about it on our Tuesday show and between some of the great music. Let's take a look at what's happening on Monday. 76 degrees for a high. Scattered thunderstorms on Monday. Then Tuesday becomes sunny with a high of 84, 86 on Wednesday. Nighttime, so that's getting good. 88 degrees. It's going to get really hot on Thursday. You're going to get in the upper 80s. So we're getting that summer. Partly cloudy, high 88. And nighttime lows in the 60s. From 61 to 69, it'll be 61 on Monday night, 65 Tuesday night, 67 Wednesday night, and 69 Thursday night. Next Friday, 88 degrees with a chance of AM thunderstorms. Nighttime low 69. Next Saturday, 88 degrees. It's going to be really hot next Saturday. And nighttime low of 68 with mostly sunny skies. Sunday, we're going to have 87 degrees, partly cloudy. Nighttime low 68, and then scattered thunderstorms again next Monday, July 1st. Next Monday is July 1st already. Holy cow. High expected next Monday to be 85 degrees. And that is weather on the 5s for Clinton, Iowa. And that is a look at how we're done. As we wrap up the Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra for today. Once again, sorry about that, folks. We didn't get Ben on. We wanted to thank Black Dragons Radio Network and OBFSU for joining us today in the chat room. They are gone. Thank you so much for tuning in anyway. I had a great time talking to you guys today. It was really fun. And I'm going to have to check out that Google podcast. Definitely have to check that out. Wow, I mean, that's absolutely fabulous. Final words? Well, like I said before, it's going to be another interesting week. Let's see what happens. Maybe we can get on the air a little bit more often than I had said. Although, like I said before, spontaneous otherwise. Lori and I are talking about getting on here sooner or later. Then we got some shows coming up, like I said. Looking forward to doing them. That is shows I'm working on right now, way out there. Another part to my Technocracy series and my Hell series, including the one I was talking about, the one Art Bell used to always play on his show. I'm going to find it. And that was where they put a powerful microphone in the bowels of the earth, and you could hear screams. I'm going to play that one, because that's weird. It's really scary. It puts chills through your spine to play it. So I'm going to try to find that audio track. And also, various other stuff we're going to talk about on Way Out There, Strange But True, and some more weird stories from the videos of a slapped ham on YouTube. We got a couple more real weird stuff we're going to play for you. Oh, we didn't really talk about the strange orbs that had been seen over Kansas City. I'm going to check into that story. I don't know. I didn't really get a chance to read that. So with 7 minutes and 20-odd seconds left of the show, won't have time. But check that out. I will try to repost that on Facebook and some other places so that you can see that. I think it's... I'll retweet it if I see it on Twitter. And a few other places will post that video or whatever, article or story, so that you can see that. But I didn't get a chance to get to that today. But we will have it on. I'll talk about it on the next show, too. The Gary J. in the Morning Show. New emerging artist. By the way, as I mentioned earlier, you guys are getting your, they'll get played on Up and Coming. Well, also, those songs will continue to play on Gary J. in the Morning and Gary J. in the Afternoon. And those shows will be on the air again in July. So tune in for those. Spontaneously. You never know when they're going to be on there. Gary J. in the Afternoon. And GJRB Music, which is automated music. And they get cycled quite a bit. So you never know when your song's going to be heard. It's in the rotation. So, it'll get played. And played quite frequently. And if it gets a lot of likes, then it gets played every hour, like the way radio used to do it. It gets most it gets requested. And I don't know yet. I'm thinking about doing the chart system. I've been playing with that idea. I tried it once a few years ago. It didn't work out. I didn't have time to really do anything with it. But you never know. I might try a chart system yet. I don't know. Depends on things. I have so much I'm doing that I don't know how much time I'll be able to do that. So that's pretty much it. I think that kind of covers it as far as that's concerned. Let's see. Once again, we'll be back on Tuesday live I can tell you that right now, at 10 a.m. Central Daylight Time, 8 o'clock Pacific, for Gary J in the morning, with news, weather on the fives, sports page, all that good stuff. You'll hear it. And also, speaking of the sports page, that's in the cycle of talk shows. I'm still looking for a co-host. They'll come on every once in a while and talk sports. So let's see what happens there. Otherwise, I'll do sports page by myself, like I usually do, with scores every 10 minutes. And we're going to do that. And some other shows. So watch for the postings on the GJRB Spreaker public site for another GJRB Schedule Update podcast. And you'll see a video of that done. I'm working on that. It's a possibility, a video of that being done. And I will put that on the GJRB TV YouTube channel with the cycle and how it's going to work. And let's just see how this all pans out, rotation-wise. What programs come up on the rotation. And that doesn't count the times that these will be airing spontaneously, too. So if you like the program, like I always say, hit the like button. And as Ed Delgado always says, smash the like button, because I always know then if I see likes and I check and see that we got some likes lit up there, if you like the program, that program will play and appear more often on GJRB Online in our spontaneous summer. And of course throughout our schedule. So I'm going to be trying various schedules, seeing how it works, and you never know, a schedule might pan out that'll really work for me, as far as being on just about every day or stuff, and what days we'll have certain programs on the most, based on what your likes are. So check that out, okay? All right, that's going to wrap it up for the Gary Russen program Saturday Extra. Whoop, wrong one. That's going to do it for the Gary Russen program Saturday Extra. I want to thank again OBFSU and Black Dragons Radio Network for joining us at the beginning. Back again for another edition of the Gary Russen program Saturday Extra next Saturday. See if we can get Ben Usman on again. Try one more time with that. And, of course, we'll try to be on every Saturday with this program from here on in. And talk about what happened during the week. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I'm Gary J. Russen. Have your best night ever. So long, everyone. And thanks for listening to the Gary Russen program Saturday Extra. Good night. Imagine one day tuning around on your internet radio only to find a station playing old radio programs complete with commercials and thinking, what am I tuning into? The past? You might be, or it's just GJRB Online and Radio Land. A day of nothing but classic radio shows back to back with classic commercials in between. Like the days of radio. Almost like your computer is picking up signals through time. Closer than you'll ever get to time travel. Radio Land.
Coast to coast and way out there, fans, listen up. If you like UFO conspiracies, ghosts, and the paranormal, you'll love Spaced Out Radio. Spreaker's answer to Coast AM, with more interesting guest experts in the paranormal and UFOs each month. If you like Way Out There, you'll love Spaced Out Radio. Own the night with Spaced Out Radio with Dave Scott. Nightly at 11 p.m. Central, 12 o'clock midnight Eastern, and 9 p.m. Pacific. On Spreaker, on Periscope, and on D-Talk Radio Network.
End times are upon us, and we need to know what's happening. Knowing the truth is key to survival. There are lots of news events going on in the world that have certain significance to end time happenings. Listen, as men and women gather to discuss the news and how it lines up with Bible prophecy on the last 7 days. Uploaded as a podcast Wednesdays and run live every third Friday at 12 o'clock noon Central on GJRB. You never know when GJRB is going to be on the air. More programming, more often, on the internet, on GJRB. This is the GJRB Online Network.